What's up, guys? So, today I'm going to be going over my experience with Tree of Savior, a free-to-play MMO that is the spiritual successor to the Ragnarok Online series. While I never personally played Ragnarok Online, I've always appreciated the art style and the idea behind them, and by that, I mean that I've always had a very quiet love for Korean grindfest that nobody likes. Okay, so first up, graphics. As you know, the only thing that matters in any game is whether or not it's pretty. Innovative design? Pass. Intriguing story? No thank you. Rewarding gameplay loop? Fucking snooze fest. Seriously though, the game is surprisingly pretty, which hasn't ever made much of a difference for me personally, but it's a big deal for some people. It immediately reminds me of the 2.5D graphics used on older PlayStation 1 RPGs like Legend of Mana or Chrono Cross. A painstaking amount of effort seems to have been put into the atmosphere and environment, which makes it nice just to kind of sort of get lost in while you're out killing your 600th pop ham. It's a dog ball with fur or leaves or something. All of the enemies in all of these games are just dog balls with hair or leaves or rocks. Alright, so level design. The map design that I experienced in the first 4 or 5 hours of gameplay wasn't your standard cookie-cutter big map that's ultimately a choice of up, down, left, or right. There were a bunch of different things throughout the map and in all different directions, sometimes having 3 or 4 smaller subplots off of the initial branch. The different terrain heights are more of a pain in the ass than they are useful or interesting, since they are a pain in the dick to navigate, and the map doesn't show differentiation from higher or lower points. On the bright side, the developers really took a microscope to the development process, and put together some of the tightest Are we fucking serious right now? This is out of beta? Performance. Fucking awful. Probably my biggest complaint about the game so far is that everyone seems to be getting frame drops into the teens, even on ridiculous setups, and the developer's just like, yeah, this game is meant to run at a gravelly, sandpapery smooth 14 frames a second on recommended settings. I don't know what you guys are complaining about. Seriously, I fucking record Overwatch and Dark Souls 3 at a pretty solid 60 frames per second, and this Naruto coloring book dips below 20. There is a universal fix developed by players, but it involves uninstalling the game and playing something else. Combat and controls. It's real good. You have to click a bunch of shit, and you have to use the arrow keys to move, and you have to use Z and X and space to interact with shit, but if you bought the Founders Pack, they'll send you an oil drum filled with nuclear waste so you can grow a middle hand. The class progression and leveling system. Classes are oddly not transparent, which means that it looks like there are only 3 classes when you start. At some level, I got the option to advance my class into a subcategory, which gave me a quest, but until that point I just wondered why the fuck there were submasters around for everything with no actual way to use them. You also level super fucking fast, or so it seems, but I'm sure that peters out into a miserable crawl the way that every game eventually does. It's a good thing I like fighting dog balls. Economy. People have yelled about this, but I do not know what there is to yell about yet. I will yell about this later. Overall, I give Tree of Savior like 6? I don't know, man. I don't know what my rating system is. It's okay. I didn't hate it.